I'd like to share with you my 3 tips to surviving challenging situations. These might be useful in your daily interactions with clients who are swept up in emotional caregiving situations. Since I'm not physically in the room, walking around the tables to capture your attention, humor me for the next 10 minutes. Please place your cell phones face down on the table and free yourself from the temptation to check email or the latest news on your laptops. After all, practicing the ability to concentrate, focus, and recall information is a very good skill. Many of our clients with memory loss experience difficulty in this area. It's important to appreciate our ability to concentrate and to recall information, especially helpful in court. I've thrown in as many legal terms in this presentation as possible. If you can write them down, there may be an award at the end. How many of you use storytelling to affirm your expertise with clients when they ask about your qualifications? Everyone has an allegation, also known as a story. For me, it's a simple story called Death Changes Everything that I'm able to corroborate. When I was 17, my oldest sister Becky died in a car accident. When I was 35, my mom died. At 38, my dad died. 10 months later, my brother Tom died of leukemia. By the age of 39, 50% of my immediate family was dead. Evidence that for me, death changed everything. As one might suspect, I was feeling a little sorry for myself as I cleaned out my parents' home and years of happy childhood memories. I was their executor. Mom, who did not clean out my bookcase, left me a gift. A yellowed piece of paper peeking out of a book I submit to you as Exhibit A. Things to do when I grow up. Fly F-14s in the Air Force, totally impractical. I become motion sick sitting in the back seat of a car. Join the Peace Corps. Travel can be fun. Forest Ranger. I love the great outdoors. And help old people. Great wisdom from my 17-year-old high school brain. Imagine the years of searching for a purpose in life that I could have saved myself if only I followed my own instructions when I was 17. What did I do? I ignored the list for about 20 years until death changed everything. I am living proof of the number of times a person can ignore a simple message to help old people. With the death of 4 immediate family members in the span of 3 years, the universe made certain I would make an appearance this time. I believe there is something good that results from all experiences. Let me share these with you. Tip 1 to challenging situations: find a passion. Being passionate about our careers allows us to achieve more than we might think possible. Many of us are passionate. We provide arguments about the importance of helping older adults. Helping people makes us feel good. How many times do your clients express embarrassment when they tell you that members of their family don't get along? Arbitration or mediation can be helpful. As if those of us working in the care industry would be surprised that families don't get along. The reality is that most families are imperfect. Most caregiving situations are imperfect. No one wants to need care, a guardian, or a conservator. As an attorney, you're able to feel good about helping families solve complex care situations. Be passionate about what you do every day, and the charges, redact, challenges won't seem so difficult. Tip 2 to surviving challenging situations: resilience. Resilience is the ability to quickly bounce back from contested, hung, or difficult pleadings. How many of you believe you are resilient? I thought I was resilient until this. After 10 years of writing and rewriting, possibly similar to your experience in writing a brief, I convinced a publisher that my book had potential. Major surprise. When you write a book and find a publisher, you gain an entirely new and not always supportive family. When my editor returned my manuscript, it was as if she took a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle and threw it up in the air. It was as if my entire manuscript was redacted. It didn't make sense. It certainly wasn't what I wrote. I was so angry, A-N-G-R-Y, that for a period of 90 days, each day I drafted but did not mail. I'm thankful for good judgment and pragmatism. A hate letter to the editor ranging from statements like, thank you for crushing my dreams of ever publishing a book, to I refuse to write this book for the 11th time. On day 91, I picked up the manuscript and spent another 8 months writing and rewriting. Other negotiable topics were the title, love it or hate it, the cover design, seriously, would you pick this up off a bookstore shelf, and the type size. The galley proof I received had type so small that I had to use a magnifying glass to read the type. All this work for a book nobody can read. The type is now 12 point. Resilience. It's important to believe in yourself, to affirm your expertise, to listen to the testimony of others, but to hold true to your character so you can sleep at night, especially when others cross-examine your abilities or your intentions. Caregivers commonly find themselves in situations where other family members complain about their actions. This is where you enter the scene, to help family members balance and to bounce back from irrational, illogical, or unreasonable caregiving situations. Be resilient. Tip 3 to surviving challenging situations is appreciation for all things like a judgment that goes your way. Last spring, I took a beach vacation with my husband. I did nothing but relax on the beach, listening to the ocean waves for an entire week. Zero stress. Our return through the Cancun airport, imagine crowds, people everywhere, the stress meter inching up by the moment. Sidebar. Ever have one of those days that you dream of possibilities to avoid returning to the real world? You weigh the options, raking seaweed on the beach, selling beaded necklaces, or having one of those fish tanks that people put their feet in to clean off the dead skin, or practicing as an attorney with cases on the document. Difficult decision, isn't it? The plane boarded. I was drawn to eavesdrop. The two couples in front of us happened to be caregivers. The woman asked the man for a change of venue. She wanted to sit in the aisle seat. The man affirmed that his wife was diagnosed with a neurological disease, PSP, and could not speak or move a muscle. The woman responded that her husband sitting across the aisle was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. In an airplane with 200 people, what is the likelihood that I would be seated behind two caregivers and spouses taking what was likely their last vacation together? My self-pity quickly turned into a state of appreciation of my busy life. I deliberated my dream of raking seaweed on the beach. While quite appealing after examination, it was impractical. I was reminded that I had a purpose and a passion caring for the elderly and the disabled. The work we do isn't easy. It can be demanding and exhausting, much like the caregivers we support. Remember and share these 3 tips: passion about caring for another person or a career, resilience and bouncing back from challenging situations, and appreciation for even the little things in life, like the ability to recall some of the legal terms in this presentation. I'm Pamela Wilson, the Care Navigator. I serve as guardian and power of attorney, and my company, the Care Navigator, provides care management, assessments, and support for transitions related to caregiving. Last but not least, under each chair at each table, you will find an envelope. If my business card is in the envelope, and if you are able to write down at least 7 of the legal terms I used in this presentation, I'll mail a copy of my book, The Caregiving Trap, not to you, but to the client of your choice. Mail me my card, the list of words, the name and address of your client, and your business card so I can gift a book in your name to your client. As my grandmother Mary often said, "Thank you for coming to see me."